Hello, my name is Timothy Elliott with the West Virginia Department of Education, Office of Career Tech Education. Today you're going to watch a video going over some of the content skills standards that are in your program of study. These skills are going to carry with you not only throughout this school year, but as you go throughout your future endeavors. So please take the time, watch the video, and I hope it helps you out. Thank you.
Oh, hey, how are you? What are you doing in here? Oh, that's right, we're supposed to talk about making videos. So what is it that we're going to talk about to help you with filming? If you've ever been to one of my TED Talks before, you know that I'm going to tell you that your most powerful tool a teacher could have is this thing right here. That's right, your cell phone. Because these things have the capability of doing a lot of things, especially shooting photos and videos. So I've been asked to give up some of my favorite tips and tricks for filming with a phone, and let's just get to it. Number one, get a tripod. Something small, something simple, something easy. These are fairly cheap. These may be a little bit more expensive, like $20, $30, but you can get smaller tripods for $10 on Amazon, and they do a wonderful job of holding your phone steady and helping you get the right angle and look that you want. Right now I am using several different tripods. I've got one that's basically a selfie stick with legs. I've got this one, which is like a little gorilla one that the legs will bend and fold to whatever angle I need to. This is what I used for the fridge scene a few shots back. If you're having someone help you, it gives a much steadier look than somebody just trying to hold and move around with the camera, unless you have one of those steady cams. Next, let's talk about lighting. You gotta have good lighting to do good film work, especially if you're filming in your house. Now, the brightest room in my house with the best lighting is my kitchen. I know it's a little weird, but I've got a couple good overhead lights that are putting light down and into my face. If you don't have a lot of good lighting, just simply move a lamp. Put on your, if you're doing work at your desk and you're recording lessons for your students or whatever, just get a little desk lamp, put it on there. If it's too bright, put a little pillowcase or something on it to help diffuse that light and make the light hitting your face a little bit softer. Next, let's talk about sound and distance. 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 Obviously, the closer you are to your camera or your microphone, the better the sound quality will be. I'm only about 1.5 feet, 2 foot away from my camera right now. And the sound is decent. I don't have to yell, I don't have to project, but what you are hearing is good, clean, crisp audio. One of the mistakes I see a lot of teachers make is they want to get the whole room or everything in. They want to stand all the way at the back of the room and have everything shown from feet and up. That's not really necessary. You just really want to have your camera focused in on what's important. Right now, it's just me. You know, they don't need to see your ankles and everything else. Just get close to the camera, that way that the audio is good and they can hear you better. You can get adapters that fit into your phone that will allow you to add an external microphone like a lapel mic or even a handheld mic. Then you're just limited by how far you can get away from your camera with that. You'll still have really good sound, and those are super cheap right now. I think an adapter is less than $10 for the new iPhone 10 and above. And then a lapel mic itself is only $10 if you want to order that stuff on Amazon. Well, what about shots and angles? Let's talk about that for a second, because if you hadn't noticed so far in this video, I've bounced around from all kinds of different places in my kitchen. I'm still in the same place. I'm just in different places in the same place. It just creates visual interest in the story. And yes, there's always a story. Now, I will say this, there is one pro tip that I can give you. Have the camera at a slight up angle. I'm 6 foot tall, 6'1", and I have my camera sitting on a little small tripod that's raised up on my counter in my kitchen. It gives you that good angle, you can get good light in your face. It forces you to kind of look up a little bit so the light that's coming in is coming in at your face and not straight down, casting shadows under your eyes. For the first part of my teaching career, I was a 7th grade social studies teacher. And if you couldn't tell by now, I do like to talk, and lecture was a big part of my thing. But with the changes that have happened with using social media and everything else, try recording your sessions in little chunks. 20, 30 seconds here, a minute there. Standing and ranting at the camera for a full 5 minutes without any kind of changes is going to be really visually boring unless you can do something to really spice it up with the actions that you're doing on camera. But let's face it, we're teachers, we're not that interesting. So just record things in short chunks and put them together. All right, at this point, it's a good time to talk about reshoots because this is one. Wait, wasn't I wearing a Star Wars? Hold on. All right, this is a little more consistent with the continuity of the films. Anyway, so we are shooting these videos as tutorials for teachers in West Virginia that are shooting videos for PBS. They've started a new channel called Education Station. They're going to run it 2 times a week. Well, probably 5 times a week if it catches on, does a little bit better. But we have teachers that are doing these short 8.5 to 9 minute lessons. That is the target time, 8.5 to 9 minutes. We've had a bunch of submissions so far. Some of them have been a little long, some of them have been a little short. This one is definitely going to be one of those long ones. So what we're hoping to do is to have you guys shoot videos, again, 8.5 to 9 minutes. We also are looking at the content. This is mostly going to be elementary based. So I know I've submitted a couple different videos that were high school based, but they're looking for more elementary style things. And we want the continuity and the flow of those videos to be geared toward elementary students. All right, make it fun, make it positive, make it happy. Get out there, do what you guys do best. I know, we're back to the fridge. Basically because I have a small kitchen and we're running out of places to film, and I want to keep this visually interesting. But I'm gonna hit you up with a few quick last minute tips that are just super short and simple. Number one, when you're filming, film with your phone horizontally, not vertically. Unless you're doing filming specifically for a vertical platform, say Snapchat or TikTok or something like that, make your camera go horizontal, because if people are consuming content on YouTube or any other kind of platform that's going to be like on a TV or something, those hang horizontally, so keep your phone horizontal. A lot of people stress over editing and trying to find what's the best software for editing, what's the best software for editing. A lot of times, if you have an iPhone, you have iMovie. It is a great editor. It's simple and easy to use. I'm sorry, I'm an iPhone guy. I've always had an iPhone. I don't have an Android. My wife recently switched over, but I haven't really gotten into filming and editing on an Android. But I guarantee you they have a bunch of different programs that are equivalent. Just ask one of your other Android buddies. A project file is not the same thing as an exported video file. If you're working on a project in iMovie or whatever editor it is that you're using, make sure you save that video as a project so you can go back and edit it later. And if you're finished, export the video to your camera roll as a combined piece. That way you can share it YouTube, Facebook, however it is that you're sharing videos. I mean, really, I'm going to edit this entire thing in iMovie on my phone. All right, so another great tool that you have for editing and recording video on your phone is the screen recorder, which is found, if you're in an iPhone, it's the top right. You swipe down from the right, and then you get the control center that pops up, and inside of there, there's like a little record button that you can press and record your screen. Now, if you just press it, it just records your screen. But if you press and hold, it gives you the option of turning on your microphone so you can do voiceover stuff. And that's what I'm using right now, because I want to show you a little tip and trick in the camera. So if you'll notice, every now and then a box pops up over my face, or if I tap the screen, you get this yellow box. Well, what that does is that shows you the autofocus for the camera. You'll see my lighting kind of go up and down as I move in and out and around this lamp, or the light behind my head. If you tap the screen, that's where your camera will focus if you've ever had an issue trying to get your camera to focus on one object versus another. If you tap and hold, you now get this thing called AE lock. Now that means your autofocus is now locked on that spot. So if I move away, if I move back, if I move forward, if I do any of that, notice the lighting didn't change, everything is the way it was. But if it's too bright or too dark, so like right behind me, this is very bright. Actually, it looks pretty good. But if I were to think that this was too bright, when I do and press and hold my lock, I can now scroll my finger up to make the brightness higher, or scroll down to make it a little bit darker. And then you just got to find that happy medium that works for you. When you're done with your screen recorder, there's a little red box in the top right hand corner. It's not showing right now because I'm in the camera mode, but if it wasn't, you could hit that little red thing and it stops the video, and it actually saves it straight to your camera roll. Then you can import that into any other video editor you want, like iMovie, and edit your video with it. Alright, I'm actually going to use the video recorder in vertical mode just so I can show you a few of the settings that I was talking about a second ago. So if I go into my main settings and I scroll up and down, you'll see first off in the second section, there's your control center, and then you customize your controls and find the one that says screen recording and put a little green check mark next to that. It's already in my control center, so if I want to remove it, I press the red arrow, then I can remove it, and then you can arrange what order it is on your screen. The next thing I want to talk about are the camera settings. If you scroll down a little bit more to the section with your camera, there's a bunch of different things in here. If you're recording and you want to put it out there on YouTube and other places, you probably want to put it out there as the best quality as you can can go into the record video settings and you can change your settings as to how high your quality of your picture is. Now, we just finished talking about video quality and what size and stuff you're going to shoot your video in, whether it's going to be 1080 or 4K or whatever. As long as you set your frame rate to the one that's 1080 or 4K that is 30 frames a second. That's very important for them to put it on PBS. It just saves them a few steps in editing and having to redo the video so it looks good on TV. All right, back to your regularly scheduled video that I've already recorded once, and this reshoot should have never happened, but thank you. All right, thanks for hanging out with me in my kitchen, which I've never noticed has never seemed so uber white and bright with my cabinets. I always thought they kind of were old and dingy. But anyway, I digress. Hopefully you guys got something out of watching this video. Maybe one tip or trick here, something that you can incorporate. Don't try and incorporate everything at once. Do a little bit here, a little bit there. Digest some now, save some for later, come at it later when you want to adapt and change and step up your game a little bit. Again, there's tons of videos and things that are out there on YouTube for you guys to watch and pick up tricks on. Hopefully this is just like one of those little nuggets that kind of helps you going in the right direction. Again, I kind of hope this helped you out a little bit. This is one of those little things that will help you get started in making better videos. If you have any questions for me, you can always find me on Twitter or Instagram or any of the social medias at Mike Likes to Eat. Again, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's my time.